The more you let go, the more life gives you. Strange, isn't it? That everything you've ever wanted seems to come to you only when you stop grasping for it. That love, peace, even understanding slip through your fingers when you clutch too tightly, yet flow freely the moment your hands open. You see, life is not conquered, it is courted. It is a lover, not a servant. The more you try to control it, the more it hides its treasures from you. But the moment you stop demanding, stop bargaining, stop insisting that it be any particular way, it blossoms before you. Like a shy flower in the morning sun, we are taught from childhood that we must take hold of our lives. Go get it, they say. Work for it, fight for it, earn it. And there is some truth in that, of course. You can move mountains with determination, but what we are rarely told is that there are mountains that cannot be moved by force, only by surrender. For there is a kind of strength that lives in letting go, a power that arises only when you stop trying to be powerful, and a wisdom that emerges when you finally stop trying to be wise. Have you ever tried to sleep while forcing yourself to fall asleep? The more you try, the more awake you become. Sleep arrives when you allow it. Love too comes when you are not hunting it down. Joy appears not when you demand it, but when you forget to ask for it. The whole secret of living is like breathing. You inhale because you exhale. You take in because you have given out. Holding the breath is death. The more tightly you hold, the less life flows through you. But the moment you release, the air rushes back to fill you. It's the same with everything. Wealth, knowledge, love, peace. Life will not flow through the clenched fist. It only enters the open hand. The great mistake is that we believe letting go means losing control, when in fact it means entering into harmony. Control is based on fear that life will not go our way, but harmony arises from trust that life knows more than we do about the music it is playing. You are not the conductor of this symphony. You are one of the instruments, perfectly tuned to the rhythm of existence when you stop trying to play your own tune. So when I say let go, I don't mean drift into passivity. I mean release the tension in your being. Stop fighting what is. Stop gripping the reins of a horse that already knows the path home. Have you noticed how a river flows effortlessly? It doesn't struggle to reach the ocean. Sea simply moves. The rocks don't stop it. They shape its song. The bends don't confuse it. They give it character. And you, when you stop fighting your own flow, become as effortless as that river. But we are terrified of letting go because we think it means falling. We think it means losing ourselves, our plans, our control. Yet what if falling is the only way to fly? The seed must fall from the tree to become the forest. The wave must fall to the shore to return to the sea. Everything in nature knows how to let go, except the human mind. And so the practice of life, the true art, is learning what every tree, every cloud, every stream already knows. How to yield without breaking, how to give without losing, how to surrender without defeated. Letting go is not resignation, needs participation. It's saying yes to the rhythm of the universe, yes to uncertainty, yes to change. And in that yes, life begins to pour itself into you. When you begin to let go, something remarkable happens. The world that once seemed hostile begins to soften. Events no longer feel like enemies to be conquered, but like waves carrying you towards some unseen shore. You start to realize that what you called control was really resistance, and what you called security was just a beautifully decorated prison. For you see, letting go does not mean drifting aimlessly. It means trusting the current. The ocean knows where it's going. It doesn't need your instructions, and neither does life. Everywhere we are told to take charge, to manifest, to shape our destiny. But destiny is not a stone you carve. It's a tide you learn to ride. Life is a living mystery, not a mechanical process. And when you try to dominate mystery, it slips through your grasp. But when you surrender to it, then it begins to dance with you. The bird does not calculate the wind, it feels it. The sailor does not fight the sea, he learns her moods and sails accordingly. Likewise, the wise person does not try to master life, but to move with it, to feel its pulse, to listen for its rhythm. And when you do, you discover a strange thing. The universe has always been on your side. The obstacles, the detours, the moments of loss, all of them were invitations to loosen your grip, to become lighter, to trust more deeply. It's like holding water in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. but open your palm and it rests there, glimmering in the sunlight. You see, the more you let go, the more you can hold. Because what you hold then is not possession, dear, is participation. You become part of the flow rather than an obstacle within it. And there's such beauty in that. But the ego resists. It whispers, if I don't hold on, everything will fall apart. Yeah? Look closely. What is this I that fears so much? It is not your true self. It is a bundle of memories, habits, and ideas about who you think you should be. It is the imaginary captain of a ship that steers itself. Enough. When you begin to let go, it is this false self that trembles, because it cannot survive in open space. It needs boundaries, control, definitions. But your true self, oh, it thrives in freedom. It breathes in uncertainty like fresh mountain air. Think of a dancer. The beauty of the dance is not in clinging to the ground, but in moving lightly through space, trusting the music to carry them. In the same way, your life becomes art when you learn to move with its rhythm, unclinging, unafraid. When you stop forcing outcomes, you begin to notice that life unfolds with a kind of intelligence far greater than your plans. It brings you what you need, not necessarily what you want. And often, when you look back, you realize that what you received was exacting for. This is the paradox. When you let go of wanting control, you gain true control, not over the world, but over your relationship to it. You become steady amidst the storm, because you no longer demand that the storm stop. Peace does not come from calm seas. It comes from learning to surf the wave. And so the more you release, the more space opens within you. The more space there is, the more life can enter. That's the great secret. Life doesn't fill the full cup, it fills the empty one. The less you try to hold, the more you can receive. To let go, then, is to become spacious. To allow life to move through you without obstruction. It is not losing your life. It is becoming one with it. You are not the separate actor on the stage of the world. You are the play itself, unfolding in infinite forms. And when that realization dawns, even the simplest moments shimmer, because you are no longer fighting the flow of existence. You are the flow. When you begin to sense that you are the flow, not something apart from it, not a creature caught within its current, a great quietness begins to spread through your being. The frantic urge to manage life, to constantly interfere, begins to fade like mist in morning light. You start to trust that existence is self-balancing, self-healing, self-renewing. It does not need your anxiety to keep it going. It's a strange freedom. The freedom of not having to be in control at first. It feels like standing at the edge of a cliff with no handrail. But as you lean into the space, you discover that the air itself holds you. The very thing you feared as falling was actually flight. Letting go is not something you do. It's something that happens when you stop doing. It's the pause between breaths, the silence between notes, and in that silence, life begins to reveal its deeper music. You see, the problem with holding on is that it narrows your world. When you cling to a single plan, a single image of who you should be, you blind yourself to the countless other possibilities dancing around you. But when you let go of the plan, of the fear, of the fixed idea of yourself, the horizon expands suddenly. You see paths that were invisible before. It's like staring too closely at a painting. All you can see are brushstrokes and texture. Step back. Let go of trying to grasp every detail. And the whole image appears in its glory. The masterpiece was always there. Your attention just hid it. The same is true of life. The more tightly you stare at one outcome, the more you miss the great panorama of existence unfolding all around. Letting go is not closing your eyes. It's opening them wider. Think of the seasons. Spring never tries to hold on to summer, nor does autumn cling to its leaves. Each passes gracefully into the next, because each is the next. Change is not a threat, but is the very mechanism of life's beauty. But we resist it because we build identities like fragile castles on the sand, and the tide of change we fear will wash them away. Yet that tide does not destroy, it transforms. It takes what you were and makes room for what you can become. So when life takes something from you, a person, a dream, a comfort, it is not cruelty. It is invitation. It is saying, come, be light again, be free, be part of the movement. There is a deep humility in surrendering to that truth. You begin to see that you never truly possessed anything. Not your name, not your body, not even your thoughts. They were all gifts passing through you like wind through reeds, and your beauty was in the way you moved with them, not in the way you held them still. This is why sages, when they laugh, sound so carefree. They have stopped pretending to own the river. They drink from it, swim in it, but never try to dam it up. To let go, therefore, is to return to innocence. Not ignorance, but innocence, but the freshness of seeing without labeling, of living without demanding. A child can play with a toy joyfully, and when it breaks, cry for a moment and then move on. The adult clings, mourns endlessly, and calls it maturity. But true maturity is the ability to release with grace, to love without ownership, to live without fear of loss, and in that state something extraordinary unfolds. You begin to notice that life gives you more beauty, more synchronicity, more presence. Like a friend who feels trusted. The universe opens its heart to you because you no longer approach it with a checklist, but with wonder. You don't demand that it follow your script. You let it surprise you. And oh, how life loves to surprise. When you begin to live this way, light, open, unguarded, you notice that life itself begins to speak through you. Words come without effort. Decisions form themselves. Timing aligns in ways you could never have planned. It's as though you have stepped into the pulse of something vast and benevolent that has always been moving beneath the surface of things. And the great secret is this: you never truly left that pulse. You were never apart from it. You only believed you were. The illusion of separation was born the moment you thought you could manage life better than life could manage itself. The truth is, you have never been the doer. Life has always been doing itself through you. The heartbeat, the breath, the thought, these are all spontaneous. They are not commanded. They arise, they pass, they continue, just as stars are born and die without any committee approving their existence. The more you let go of the belief that you are the manager of it all, the more easily things move, because they were never waiting for your control, only for your permission to flow. Letting go, then, is a kind of remembering that you are not here to dominate life, but to witness it, to taste it, to be it. You are the sky, not the weather, the canvas, not the brushstroke. And yet, there's an even deeper mystery. When you stop clinging to the identity of being the one who lets go, even that falls away. There is no you who surrenders, there is only surrendering. No you who trusts, only trusting. No you who flows, only flowing. This is the heart of it. To truly let go is to see that there was never anyone holding on. It sounds absurd at first, but watch carefully. Every thought of I must surrender is another grasping, another mask of control pretending to be freedom. True letting go happens when you stop trying to let go, when you stop trying altogether. And in that stillness, life reveals its face. It is not separate from yours. It is not an object outside you waiting to be achieved. It is you seeing itself, breathing itself, being itself. In that moment, even the word letting go becomes unnecessary. Because who is there left to hold? The river does not need to remind itself to flow. It simply flows. So perhaps the invitation is not to let go of something, but to let go into something, to fall back into the vast unseen intelligence that has been carrying you all along. And when you do, you find that the very things you feared to lose begin to return. Love, creativity, clarity, peace, but now they are no longer yours to possess. They are free and therefore real. The more you let go, the more life gives you. Because life gives itself to those who stop trying to take it. It's a strange grace, isn't it, to receive everything the moment you stop asking for anything, to be filled the moment you become empty. Look at the hollow of a cup. It is its emptiness that makes it useful. Look at the silence between the notes. It is that space that makes the music sing. So too with you. The emptier you are of grasping, the more room there is for the song of life to play through you. Letting go is not an act of faith, it is faith itself. It is standing at the edge of the unknown and saying yes. And in that yes, the universe answers. Not in words, but in everything. When you finally say yes, not as an idea, not as a spiritual exercise, but from the deepest part of your being, something miraculous begins to unfold. The walls you built to protect yourself dissolve, and you see that there was never anything to defend. The river was never against you. It was only trying to carry you home. To live by letting go is to discover that life was never a struggle to win, but a song to join. You stop trying to sing louder than the music and instead become part of its harmony. You move not from effort but from ease. You speak not from fear but from flow. And that, you see, is true power, the effortless power of alignment. Every moment you release your grit, you make space for wonder. You begin to notice the small miracles: sunlight through a window, a stranger's smile, the sound of rain on leaves. These are not ordinary. They are reminders that life itself is constantly giving, constantly renewing, constantly whispering, "Trust me." But trust requires vulnerability, the willingness to be touched by life rather than armored against it. You cannot receive what you are too afraid to touch. You cannot be loved while holding your heart in a fist, so open your hand. Open your heart. Let the wind pass through you. You see, the very things you feared would destroy you: change, loss, uncertainty, yet the same forces that shape and strengthen you. They are the sculptors of the soul. Without them, you would remain unformed, untested, asleep. And when you truly let go, something even more profound happens. You discover that you never had anything to lose, because the life you thought was yours was never separate from the whole. The giver and the gift were never two. You can't outgive life because you are life. Every breath you take is borrowed and returned, borrowed and returned. Every heartbeat is both a taking and a giving. And when you finally stop trying to own this rhythm, you begin to dance with it. The dance of letting go is the dance of being alive. Not clinging to the last note, not reaching for the next, but moving in perfect awareness of the one that's playing right now. So perhaps the lesson was never to let go as an act of will, but to recognize that letting go is the natural state of all things. Clouds drift, rivers flow, trees shed, stars burn out, and you too are part of that same divine unfolding, arising, dissolving, and arising again. Enough. When you stop resisting this endless becoming, you feel an astonishing peace. Not the peace of having everything sorted, but the peace of knowing you don't need to, for life is not something to be mastered. It is something to be trusted. And when you trust it completely, when you release your last illusion of control, you find that you have never been more alive, more whole, more free. Because in that final surrender, you and life are no longer two. You are the giver, the receiver, and the gift at once. The more you let go, the more life gives you. Not because you've earned it, but because you've finally made room for it. So breathe and let yourself fall into the open arms of this moment. Here now, nothing is missing. Here now, everything is given.